Hello students and welcome back to English class. Today we'll continue with the short story Horse and Two Goats written by R.K. Narayan, part 4. So till now what we have found is a comic situation going on because of lack of understanding between each other's language of the foreigner and Muni. While the foreigner wanted to get the horse statue from Muni, for which he thought Muni to be the owner, Muni thought that the foreigner wanted to get more details about horse. So we find Muni sharing his knowledge about horse, and he describes according to whom horse is Kalki or a redeemer who will be coming to earth in order to save the people towards the ending of the world. Whereas for this foreigner, this horse statue is merely a showpiece that could decorate his room. Thus, it is very clear that even if two had understood each other's words, they would not have understood each other's words because their way of life is quite different from each other. So, let's proceed with today's topic. So, the foreigner's plan was to take the horse statue in his station wagon itself by pushing the back seat and placing the horse there. So, he is seeking the help of Muni for that purpose. Let me her hand, and I can lift the horse from its pedestal. After picking out the cement at the joints, we can do anything if we have a basis of understanding. So the foreigner is telling, just lend me a hand. I'll pick the horse statue from the pedestal after pulling off the cement from the joints. And he is telling one more thing. We can do anything. Anything is possible if we have a basis of understanding. Was there a common base of understanding between Muni and this foreigner? That is a great thing which they lack here, right? There is no proper understanding between each other. At this stage, the mutual mystification was complete and there was no need even to carry on a guessing game at the meaning of the words. The old man chattered away in a spirit of balancing of the credits and debits of conversational exchange and said in order to be on the credit side. Oh, honorable one, I hope God has blessed you with numerous progeny. I say this because you seem to be a good man, willing to stay beside an old man and talk to him, while all day I have none to talk to except when somebody stops by to ask for a piece of tobacco. Actually, what was the thing? What did the foreigner ask Muni in order to lend him a helping hand in order to pull off those cement and carry the horse statue or place the horse statue in his wagon, right? But did Muni understand anything? Exactly not. So at this stage, the mutual mystification was complete. Once that mutual mystification means that mystery or confusion was complete and there was no need even to carry on a guessing game at the meanings of words. So now for Muni, what he is doing is once the foreigner stops conversation, he thought that he should begin his. Whatever be it, no problem. So that is a game going on there. So now since foreigner has spoken something, though Muni didn't understand anything, Muni thought that now it is his chance to speak. So the old man chattered away in a spirit of balancing off the credits and debits of conversational exchange. So he thought that now it's my turn to speak. So I should balance the speech of the foreigner. Now the foreigner has spoken something. Though he didn't understand anything, he thought that since he has spoken something, now it is my turn to speak something. So Muni started. Let's see what Muni is telling. Foreigner asked him to give him a helping hand. But let's see what Muni is saying now. So what Muni is telling to the foreigner is that I think you are a very honorable man. And I hope that you have number of progenies or children. I say this because, so why he is saying that maybe the foreigner will be having is blessed with number of progenies that actually Muni liked this man a lot. So he is again telling, you are a very good man who was willing to stay beside me, who was willing to stay beside me and talk to me. Usually I sit here without any company. And if anybody stops here, is only to ask whether I have got a piece of tobacco. Usually, Muni doesn't have that, and as a result, the person will go away. That is the usual thing that happens in that hillside. No one ever stops to have a conversation with Muni. Noting the other's interest in his speech, Muni felt encouraged to ask. So now the person is very much through the facial expression of the foreigner. What Muni thought is that he is very interested to listen to my speech. So he is asking with much eagerness, "How many children have you?" With appropriate gestures with his hand, realizing the question was being asked, the man replied, "I said 100." So Muni is asking to this foreigner, "How many children do you have?" So the foreigner thought it is a question asked to him, and he linked it with the statue. So he thought that Muni is asking what is the price of the statue. So what is the reply given by the foreigner? 100, which encouraged Muni to go into detail. How many of your children are boys and how many are girls? Where are they? Is your daughter married? Is it difficult to find a son in law in your country also? So Muni thought that, oh, this man is replying. So he thought that I should ask him little more question. So he is going into collecting the details about his children from the foreigner. In answer to these questions, the red man dashed his hand into his pocket and brought forth his wallet in order to take immediate advantage of this bearish trend in the market. He flourished a 100 rupee currency note and said, "Well, this is what I meant." So what the foreigner thought is Muni is asking what's the price of the gold, because it was a question asked by Muni. How many children do you have, right? So the foreigner thought that this man is asking what is the cost for my goats. So the foreigner is telling, "I say 100, I'll give you 100 rupees." And just like before proceeding for further bargains, just like the person pulls out the money. Usually that's happening in the business deals. Similarly, this foreigner quickly takes a 100 rupee currency note from his pocket and he's showing to Muni and telling, "Well, this is what I meant." The old man now realized that some financial element was entering their talk. He peered closely at the currency note, the like of which he had never seen in his life. He knew the 5 and 10 by their colors, although always in other people's hand, while his own earning at any time was in copper and nickels. So, since the foreigner has taken out that 100 rupee currency note from his pocket, Muni realized that what the foreigner is talking about is some business deal. He wants to get something from me. And that too, it was a 100 rupee currency note which he had never seen in his life itself. And author says the poor condition, or he picturizes the poor condition of Muni by saying that Muni's earning at any time was limited to coppers and nickels. He never even was able to earn currency of 5 rupee and 10 rupee in his life. What was this man flourishing the note for? So Muni is thinking now, for what reason is this man showing me this 100 rupee currency note? Perhaps asking for change. He laughed to himself at the notion of anyone coming to him for changing 1,000 or 10,000 rupee note. So first of all, Muni thought, is this man asking me for a change of 100 rupee note? So first of all, Muni laughed from inside at people coming and asking him for a change of 1,000 or 10,000 rupee note. He said with a grin, "Ask our village hitman, who is also a money lender. He can change even 1,00,000 of rupees in gold sovereigns if you prefer in that way. He thinks nobody knows, but dig the floor of his puja room and your head will reel at the sight of the hoard." So Muni is telling to this foreigner. Muni thought that the man is asking for a change. So he is telling to foreigner, rather than asking me, you go and ask to the village headman. And he is telling about the village headman to this foreigner. He is a money lender. He has got lots of money, lakhs of rupees in gold sovereigns. So whatever you want to get as change, definitely you will get from him. And usually he buries his monies in the puja room. And this money lender or the village man has got a notion that no one knows about it. But if you dig the floor of the puja room, your head will reel at the sight of the black monies which he had stored there. The man disguises himself in rags just to mislead the public. So maybe Munir is not like this village man. So that is why he is telling he moves in rags usually. which makes the people, in order to make the people believe that he is a poor man. Talk to the hitman yourself because he goes mad at the sight of me. Then again, Muni is telling, if you want money, you go and talk to the village hitman by yourself. Because if I take you over there, he usually don't like me. So it's better you go by yourself. So over here, we find Muni giving reasons as to why the village hitman hates him. Someone took away his pumpkin with a creeper, and he for some reason thinks it was me and my goats. So that is the main reason. That's why I never let my goats to be anywhere near the farms. His eyes travel to his goats nosing about, attempting to wrest nutrition from the minute greenery peeping out of rock and dry earth. So he is stating the reason as to why the village hitman aids him. It was related to a robbery, a theft of pumpkin with a creeper. So according to village man, it is Muni and his goats who took away that one. Whereas Muni knew very well that it was not himself. The foreigner followed his look and decided that it would be a sound policy to show an interest in the old man's pet. So when he found Muni glancing at the pet, the foreigner thought that it's better I show a little interest in its pet so that he will be impressed about me. So he went up casually to them and stroked their backs with every show of courteous attention. So now the foreigner is moving towards Muni's goats and stroking at their back with much attention. Now the truth dawned on the old man. So now Muni realized the truth. Muni understood something. His truth or his dream of lifetime was about to be realized. He understood that the red man was actually making an offer of the goats. He had reared them in the hope of selling them someday with the capital, opening a small shop on this very spot. So now Muni realized why this man has shown 100 rupee note. Because the man is coming and patting his goats, he thought that the man wanted these two goats of Muni. So Muni thought that that's good, because I have brought up these two goats with an hope to sell it to someone one day. And with that money, to open a small shop on the very spot where he is sitting now. Sitting here, watching towards the hill, he had often dreamed how he would put up a thatched roof here, spread a gunny sack out on the ground, and display on it fried nuts, coloured sweet, green coconut for the thirsty and famished wayfarers on the highway, which was sometimes very busy. So, the greatest dream of Muni was one day he wanted to build up a small shop over there, at least by selling his two goats. And he wanted to sell items like dried nuts, green coconuts, that is tender coconut, for the tired travelers on the highway. Animals were not prize ones for a cattle show, but he had spent his occasional savings to provide them some fancy diet now and then, and they did not look too bad. So his animals, his two goats, doesn't look very great, or they are not a highly prized one, but at the same time, because he used to provide them with some good feed, whenever he gets a little money, they don't look very bad too. While he was reflecting this, the man shook his hand and left on his farm 100 rupees in tents now, suddenly realizing that this was what the old man was asking for. So because Muni asked the old man, or asked this foreigner, do you want change? Foreigner thought that Muni is telling that he does not want that 100 rupee currency note as such. He needs change of 100 rupees. So this time what the foreigner did is he gave him 10 rupee note to Muni. It is all for you, and you may share that if you have a partner. So finally, after giving this 100 rupee currency or 10 rupee currency notes, foreigner is telling to Muni, if you have got a partner, do share it with her and lead a happy life. So now Muni is asking to this foreigner. The old man pointed out at the station wagon and asked, are you carrying them off in that? So now Muni is asking, are you carrying my animals in your station wagon itself? So what will the foreigner think? Muni is asking whether he is going to carry statue in his station wagon. There is mutual mystification there, right? Mutual mystification means mutual confusion. Both are not able to understand what each other is saying, right? So, the foreigner is replying, "Yes, of course," said the other, understanding the transportation part of it. So, the foreigner is telling, "Of course, I'm going to carry it in my wagon," because he understood that he is asking a question related to how he will transport the item. The old man said, This will be their first ride in motor car. Carry them off after I get out of sight. Otherwise, they will never follow you, but only me, even if I am traveling on the path to Yamaloga." He laughed at his own joke, brought his palms together in a salute, turned round and went off, and was soon out of sight beyond the clump of thicket. So the old man is telling, realizing that this man is planning to take the goats of him. He's telling, "Oh, then they will be having the first ride today because I've never taken them in motor car." Also, he's telling the foreigner to carry these goats only after he is gone. Only after Muni leaves the place, he need to carry the goats. Because the fact is that otherwise they will never follow this foreigner. But only Muni, even if Muni is traveling to the path of Yamaloga. You know what's Yamaloga? Yamaloga is the world you go after your death. He laughed at his own joke, brought his palms together in a salute. So he is saluting the man, turned round and went off, and was soon beyond a clump of thicket. So he disappeared from the sight. Thicket means thick bushes, okay? The red man looked at the goats grazing peacefully. Perched on the pedestal of the statue horse, as the westerly sun touched off the ancient faded color of the statue with a fresh splendor, he ruminated. He must be gone to fetch some help, I suppose. See, just imagine this funny situation. Muni thought that he has sold the goat and he has gone home. Red man is still sitting there thinking that he has gone to fetch someone in order to pull this ox statue and settle down to wait. When a truck came downhill, he stopped it and got the help of the couple of men to detach the horse from its pedestal and place it in a station wagon. Later, when he couldn't find Muni, he found a truck passing through that way. Then he is seeking the help of people over there in order to in order to remove the horse statue from the pedestal. He gave them 5 rupees each, and for a further payment, they siphoned of gas from the truck and helped him to start his engine. So he gave them 5 rupees each for detaching the horse statue. And again, when he gave a little amount more, they were willing to provide him siphon the gas from the truck and helped him to start his engine. Muni hurried homeward with the cash securely tucked away at his waist in his dhoti. So after this, the man is going on his way. He was able to remove the horse statue from its pedestal and carry it home. At the same time, way back to Muni's house. Muni hurried homeward with the cash securely tucked away at his waist in his dhoti. He shut the street door and stole up softly to his wife as she squatted before the lit oven, wondering if by a miracle food would drop from the sky. So when he reached home or back at home, what was the scene? Wife was seated near the oven or near the hearth, and she was sitting there wondering if by some miracle food would drop from the sky. Muni displayed his fortune for the day. So as soon as he reached home, he showed that 100 rupee currency to his wife. She snatched the notes from him, counted them by the glow of the fire, and cried, 100 rupees, how did you come by it? Have you been stealing? So the wife couldn't believe. Who can give Muni 100 rupees? So she's asking. The next question asked by the wife is, did you steal it from somewhere? So what is the wife asking? Whether he had stolen money from somewhere. So reply given by Muni. I have sold the goats to a red-faced man. He was absolutely crazy to have them, gave me all his money and carried them off in his motor car. Hardly had these words left his lips when they heard bleating sound. What makes the bleating sound? Made by goats, right? She opened the door and saw the 2 goats at her door. So when she opened the door, what she found is two goats standing out. Here they are, she said. What's the meaning of all this? So again, wife became angry because he is told that he had sold the goats. But the goats are back. So the meaning of all this. He muttered a great curse and sneezed one of the goats by its ears and shouted, Where is that man? Don't you know you are his? Why did you come back? The goat only wriggled at his grip. He asked the same question to the other two. The goat shook itself off. His wife glared at him and declared, If you have thieved, the police will come tonight and break your bones. Don't involve me. I will go to my parents. So that is how the story ends. Wife thought that Muni had stolen 100 rupee currency from somewhere. So finally the wife is chilling. Actually, what was the thing? Muni misunderstood that he had sold his goats to the foreigner. And foreigner thought that Muni was the owner of the statue and he had got the statue from Muni. So that is how the misunderstanding is working there, right? But according to wife, Muni had stolen 100 rupee. So the wife is telling, if you have stolen, you should be subjected to punishment. You will be subjected to punishment. If the police come, I'll not involve in this matter. I'll straightforward go to my parents. So, what can you say about Muni's wife? Yes, she is an honest woman. She is an honest woman. She reacts in a very angry manner when Muni gives her 100 rupees. She is not actually becoming happy, though she is without anything. She accuses Muni of stealing and threatens to leave the house if he had committed a theft. That is the nature of his wife. So finally, what we can say is that author has artistically created the comic characters of Muni and the American, and he is laughing at them in a very gentle and kind manner at the type of misunderstanding between Muni and American businessman. So I hope you have understood the story, and we'll wind up our class here today. Till we meet again, goodbye.